is up, geek viewers? Welcome to Kent Wayne Entertainment. I know it's Monday. I know all y'all like dreading on Monday. Maybe some of y'all getting off work, or maybe those are still at work. Just here to bring y'all some entertainment. But today, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about my five favorite MCU movies. I know I've been talking mostly about DC in my other videos, but I want to go ahead and give Marvel a chance. So I want to talk to you guys about what I consider the five best MCU movies on, or the ones I would continually watch. So I know what the MCU has been growing. For those who only know about Marvel through the movies and not the comics, I kind of want to go ahead and share with y'all, my thoughts on or better yet, my opinion on what I consider the five best Marvel movies that they've made in the MCU. But, it's just my opinion. And I know a lot of folks, prefer this to be the favorite. But again, we all have favorites. So I want to share with y'all like my five favorite MCU movies. Starting at number five, I want to say Doctor Strange. Now, I like the way that they depicted Doctor Strange in this one. Is more like they pretty much didn't really talk much about magic. Like before Doctor Strange was introduced, like I know with Thor's abilities, he's more on the magic side, but they never really touched base on any magic properties in the MCU until Doctor Strange came in. And given with Loki, is also himself a magician. He's the god of mischief, but again, they never really talk much about it. But with Doctor Strange, I like the route they got with him, and his origin, and with the whole time, the Infinity Stone and the Eye of Agamotto. One thing I did want in that was that I wish that he was able to have the Reality Stone instead of the Time Stone, because with Doctor Strange, he's able to not really warp reality, but he's mostly trying to protect reality. So I just feel like with that, I wish that he had the he had the Reality Stone in there, and then with Thor: The Dark World, I wish that they had the Time Stone, given that the Dark Elves wanted to pretty much rule all the nine realms because of an ancient battle they had with Asgard or Asgardians long before. But again, I did like the battle sequence. I like that we got to see Dormammu, even though Dormammu was just a big purple guy, which wasn't more like a fiery skull guy. But I hope to see Dormammu in future, movies, especially if they were to save him for like Doctor Strange 3, or if he did another appearance in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I just, I like that, Mordo in that movie was more of an ally than an enemy, because much that I know about Mordo, I know that he's one of Doctor Strange's greatest adversaries next to Dormammu, but it was nice seeing Mordo being more of a mentor friend to Stephen Strange, and getting the chance to meet the Ancient One, the other Sorcerer Supreme, before she passed on and to Stephen Strange to become the new Sorcerer Supreme. So I really didn't like much of the main antagonist, which his name keep escaping me. But again, it was a far better movie. I like the effects they did with all the mind warping and reality bending and all that. It was very cool. So my fourth movie would be Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Now, frankly, Captain America wasn't really one of my favorites growing up. I knew that he was just, a World War II super soldier who just throws a shield around. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, for those who are a Cap fan, it's not that I didn't find him interesting. It's just, it's just more like it's just a guy with skills and can throw a shield. But after seeing Winter Soldier, I kind of see, that, okay, Cap's really not as bad as I thought he would be, because I did like his first movie, The First Avenger. Just wish they touched base more on, how Steve, coped with the the loss of his old comrades, his love of his life, and then, being in the modern age where he's not in 1942 anymore. But the whole story with him trying to fit in modern day society, working with Shield, and then coming to find out that his old best friend is still alive and it's gonna be called the Winter Soldier, but he also gained an ally, which is Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon. I did like the little dynamic between Cap and Black Widow. I wish we was able to see more of that in other movies, because I did like their chemistry is not more like a romantic chemistry, but more like a brother sister or partner friendship, and the whole story about how Cap views the world, because he feels that he doesn't like the way that a lot of people don't trust others as they used to back in the old days, and that a lot of people rely too much on technology, that it could very well compromise the freedom of all Americans. So I did like that movie. I like that. Yeah, I kind of wish we saw something like that in Civil War, because with Civil War it was more of an Avengers movie than it was a Cap's third movie. But again, I did like Winter Soldier. I did like the Winter Soldier himself. He was a very good adversary for Steve, especially given that he was Bucky back in the day. So again, that was my fourth favorite movie. My third favorite would be Black Panther. I was very stoked when I first heard that Black Panther was coming to the big screen, and I was like, "Man, I can't wait to see this," because I done, knew so much about Black Panther's origin. I knew much about his affiliation with the Avengers. I knew how um, he was a king of Wakanda, protector of Wakanda as well, along with all the Wakandan technology that's been advanced in that area for so long, that I was ready to see a character like Black Panther to actually make it on the big screen. And given that he was actually the first black superhero created, yeah, the first black superhero created in comics, and I'm glad that he was able to get the recognition that he deserved. Of course, I do like Chadwick Boseman playing as the character. He really nailed it for me. Like the whole time I was watching the movie, I was jumping for joy. I was happy. Like, oh my gosh, I like this movie. That was actually a movie I can watch back to back. And the culture of Wakanda, how they fit into into the civilization of America and all that, like how they always see as Wakanda as a very territorial, closed off from the world type of civilization, to where um they for generations they've kept their technology hidden from the world. So to have another Wakandan be born on American soil and feel the need that one of his own was killed by the king of Wakanda, that he wanted to seek revenge and go up against the king now to say, I feel as if, like, you say that you're trying to protect everyone, but let alone you left a fellow Wakandan in another area. And now I have trained myself to get to this point where I want to become king. I feel like I should deserve king, to where I can pretty much help people that's like me to defend themselves. And I did like Ulysses Claw. I wish they didn't kill him off, because Andy Serkis did a great job playing the character, and I wish they didn't kill him off. I wish I could have seen more of him, because Claw is also another Black Panther villain, along with Killmonger. Another character that I kind of thought he was gonna be the big bad, but they didn't go in that route, was M'Baku. Now, uh, M'Baku in the comics was actually named M'Baku the Mayonnaise, but I guess they wanted to cut the mayonnaise part on there. So again, we just got M'Baku. I did like the Doja Lamaj. I can never say that name right, but I did like the group of female warriors. It kind of reminded me of Wonder Woman's Amazonian warriors. Um, I did like Nakia. I kind of thought she was gonna play Storm, but hey, I like the route that they went with that. I like that Killmonger was the main antagonist, and hope to see more of what they're gonna do in the future. Um, my second favorite movie would be the first Avengers movie, and yeah, it was like, after seeing Captain America: The First Avenger, a part of me was like, all right, I feel like they're gonna go ahead and bring the Avengers together, assemble them, and the moment I heard that they, was announcing that the Avengers was coming onto the big screen, I was like, oh man, this is gonna break all kinds of records. Like, you're bringing like four different heroes on the big screen together to assemble, and I was like, man, I was like in high school when that movie came out, and I believe me, like, I was already pumped. I had my gear and everything ready. Like, I was like, look, I told everybody, like, y'all gonna go see the Avengers, like. And I know some of them didn't even like see like the other movies. Like, they've seen like Iron Man and Thor and Cap, but they didn't see Hulk's movie. So they were like, at the time nobody was a big deal. They weren't really big fans of of the superhero movies back then. But after the Avengers broke out, I'm not broke. Sorry, after Avengers had came out, that pretty much shattered all kinds of expectations. Like that opened up doors for like future movies, future superhero movies, and future superhero team up movies to come out because after that you've had like the biggest Avengers movie break box office numbers, made that much money. So with me, it to make this movie very one of my favorites is the fact that I got to see all the characters from Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk come from uh different areas in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to where they come together to defeat a common threat, which is Loki. And I think Tom Hiddleston did a great job playing as Loki. And not only that, it was just the chemistry between them because when it comes to bringing all heroes together, there of course is going to be conflict. You're going to bring in that like different viewpoints from each character, and then of course they're going to fight and then disagree with one another. But when the time comes, they all have to assemble to take down the big threat. And then the moment they assemble, when that music came on, the moment when they assemble, I was like, oh man, things about to get real now. Oh, they got everybody just lined up, ready to take on. Like, I was just like, man, I was like this at the theater the whole time, just looking like, oh my, it's about to get real. So yeah, that right there to this day is, if I had to rank all four Avengers movies from the first one, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame, the first one will always be my favorite. First one will guarantee always be my favorite. And I like that. I like that. And so with that, now comes to my big favorite MCU movie. Now, I know, some of y'all may think that, I'm pretty sure it's a movie that a lot of people have seen. Well, technically, it's actually a movie that a lot of people tend to overlook. And my favorite is going to be The Incredible Hulk. And now I know y'all like, for some people who just now get into MCU movies, some of y'all are like, Hulk had a movie? And I'm like, yes, he did. The Incredible Hulk movie came out the same year that the first Iron Man movie came out. Actually, it came out 2 months after Iron Man's movie came out. And when I first saw it, I knew they was going in a different direction with this one due to the fact of, where it was taking place, the theme of the movie. And, given all the other movies prior to that, like up until Far From Home, like how a lot of MCU movies became more comedic, lighthearted, funny. This movie was not considered funny or lighthearted. It was pretty dark. This version of the Hulk was dark, and a lot of people tend to forget or have not seen the Incredible Hulk. And the reason why it's my favorite because I like the way that Edward Norton, not Mark Ruffalo, it was actually Edward Norton who played the Hulk for the MCU until he was recasted to Mark Ruffalo. But I like the way Edward Norton version of the Hulk was. He was more savagery, scary, brute strength, and of course this was the dark version of a Hulk. And also as Bruce Banner, he just had the physique, the mentality of playing a guy who's, causally running away from harming people and along with, trying to control the Hulk. So, and not to mention, even though this movie is like what, a decade old, it's about 12 years old. Yeah, 12 years old. This movie is 12 years old. So I might as well go ahead and say it. The whole battle with him and Abomination, like that was something I wanted to see against Thanos. Like, of course, the Hulk gets beaten up, but throughout time, he always finds a way to surpass the adversary that he's fighting up against. So, after Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk and they recasted him for Mark Ruffalo, again, I did like the Hulk in Avengers. I mostly like the Hulk in Age of Ultron due to the fact that, when Scarlet Witch got into the Hulk's mind, he, went crazy and started fighting Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor. And after that, I did not like the way Hulk was portrayed after Age of Ultron, from up until Ragnarok until Endgame. I just didn't like the way. I just miss, the Savage Hulk. I miss him just going up against powerful enemies. And even though, well, actually, let me say this. In the comics, and this is stated from Thanos himself, that um, out of all characters in the Marvel universe, Thanos said that he preferred not going toe to toe against the Hulk for real. I mean, yes, Thanos can beat the Hulk, but the reason why he avoids confrontation with the Hulk because he knows that the Hulk doesn't really go down like that easily. Knowing like the Hulk's gets stronger the madder he gets. So the madder the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. That's why when people try to calculate his strength, they said it's unlimited. Like we don't know how strong the Hulk is. It's all based on his emotion, which is his rage, his anger. Anger is what fuels and makes the Hulk, stronger, bigger. So given how what I saw in the Incredible Hulk when he fought against Abomination, I could see that the more angry he started to overpower Abomination to a point where the man almost killed him. Hulk almost killed not Thanos. Hulk almost killed the Abomination, like literally. Like he was so upset because Abomination had. Oh, and also Betty Ross. Let me not forget about her. Betty Ross is really Bruce Banner's love interest, not Black Widow. They wanted to do something different because I guess they wanted to take some parts of the Incredible Hulk and add it into into the MCU, but not make too much mention of. That's why General Ross, the guy that played General Ross in Civil War and Infinity War, he also played General Ross in the Incredible Hulk movie. So they was able to pull just that person into the future MCU movies, but anything else tied into that, they want to kind of forget it because it wasn't the most popular MCU movie. But again, this movie came out the same year Iron Man came out, the first one, and given how Iron Man did so well, I guess some people were expecting the Hulk to be kind of that way. But for those who know about the Hulk, he's not really a funny, charismatic, lighthearted character. He's kind of like if I can compare Hulk's theme, it would be Wolverine. So that's the Hulk that I like, and to this day, that's still my favorite MCU movie. And a lot of some people don't want to talk about that movie. And I know, right, actually, now I think about it, I've seen a lot of people talk more about that movie, even though they just now seen it or have seen it a while back. Some people will say that after the version of the Hulk that we got now, I would wish that we had Edward Norton's version back. And I saw on YouTube one day that Edward Norton did have a trilogy for his version of the Hulk, because there were a lot of plot holes that were never explored in the future movies. Like Abomination was supposed to show up in Age of Ultron, but they cut that part out. They also had I'm trying to think, they had something else added in there as well. Oh, the leader. Yeah. So the leader, or Samuel Stearns, he was a scientist that was helping Bruce Banner figure out a way to get rid of the Hulk, but he had kept blood tests of him because he realized that it could have changed everything. But he sustained a head injury to where some of Bruce Banner's blood got into his head, and his head started to pulse up and grow. And for those who don't know, the leader is actually another villain of the Hulk. He's not a big green guy. He's actually a scrawny green guy with a giant green head, which makes him very intelligent. He always finds ways to take down his adversary, the Hulk. Where Hulk is more about strength, the leader is more about intelligence. So that was another plot hole they left out when it came to that. And it's like they don't want to, touch base on that anymore. So there you have it, my 5 favorite MCU movies. I'm going to do a video on my 5 favorite DCEU movies. And then after that, I'm going to be doing like all Marvel movies combined, including the MCU and non-MCU, in my next video. And then after that, it's going to be all the DC movies, including the DCEU movies and those outside the DCEU movies. So again, I hope to see what other movies they're going to bring out in theaters when everyone, opens up theaters again. If not, I hope that they do kind of put them on streaming services, so that way it can, it won't have to hold up a lot of fans for fans who fans who are uh really big on going to see an MCU movie, whether you're a comic fan or not. That's what made the movie theaters exciting, because that a movie like that was coming out, and it just got you all pumped up. So again, we're gonna see where that goes from there. But I hope everybody's Monday is going great. So again, I'll leave a like, comment, subscribe, and again, on my next video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about my favorite DCU movies. Deuces.